and a really, really long one.
Boo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the Pain to Purpose podcast. I'm going to do some quick sharing before I get into introducing this beautiful soul. Okay. Boom. Share. Yay. Okay, let me get back to here. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, again, the Pain to Purpose podcast, episode 2 with Nikkiy D. My name is Vanessa I am a integrative bodywork therapist, Reiki master, and life alignment coach and teacher. And on this episode, we are going to be going into the art of being. I've known Nikkiy now for quite a while, and she is just such an amazing soul. From that very first breakthrough call that we had, we immediately clicked, and she has such a beautiful story and way of really connecting with people, and her empathy, her heart is so extremely open and beautiful. In the way that she reveals wisdom that comes to her, it's just so natural for her. And so I'm super grateful to have her on the show today. Hi, Nikkiy. How are you?
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Vanessa. I'm doing so amazing. I'm just like, it's just such a blessing to be on this earth with everyone. It really is. And to be able to share this with you guys, and for you to just have your own understanding of everything is just beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
I want to start off by telling you a little bit about what really got me here. Before I came into contact with Vanessa, I was just at this, well, let me start before that. So I was at this point in my life where I was in high school, and my perception of things just really started changing. I'd say around the time I was like 16, 17 years old. I just was at this point where, let me say, just like ever since I was 13 years old, I never really had um, a lot of support or security at home, for a lot of reasons. Not only because my parents separated at 13, and a lot of things came after that. It's just like I really didn't have any like security or support, and I looked around at the world, and everything just didn't seem real to me. And I think I was going through a spiritual awakening, and around the same time is where I was going through a lot of things in my life. So after, like, I really divorced and I went into high school, and my mom became an alcoholic, and things just weren't really good at home at all. And my family was always really like distant. That's another thing that like really bothered me a lot. It's like I felt like me, especially, people like hid like a lot of things from me, and I was always like known as like the sensitive one like in the family. And I was just at this point with me and my sister where we just really had each other, and yeah, that's good. And I was trying to find confinement and having at least my sister, and it was just at this point where I just felt like I needed something, because I just felt like I had nothing, and I was going through this awakening. And when I looked around at the world, I saw what I saw, but I needed something inside of myself. So this is where I started searching for this um, security and happiness, because I didn't understand why the world was the way that it was, and why I couldn't find the support inside of myself. And so at this point in time, basically what happened is that it's normal teenage thing. I'm trying to find my place in this world. My mom and dad had a divorce, and I had my boyfriend of 3 years. His name is Justin Gary, and he was the love of my life, and he got me through a lot of things because I confided in him and my sister a lot. He got me through a lot of things, and if it wasn't for me and my sister, like, having that, I don't know, like, what I would have done. And then I just hit rock bottom. I just hit absolute rock bottom at this point because I found out that my mom was dying, and things changed really suddenly for me and my significant other because I found out that he had cheated on me. And so I left him, and I'm trying to find my place in this world. I lost my support that I confided in my boyfriend. My sister would not talk to me because I don't even remember what the hell it was about. I don't even remember, but she wasn't talking to me. And my mom, I found out she was dying, and she didn't want to talk about it, and she was trying to hide it from us. Like, my family always was very distant. So I just had absolutely nothing, no one, nowhere to go, but within myself, or to faith, so-called, is like the only thing that I didn't really try yet. So um, I just put my hands in the air at this place in my life, and I gave everything into this. And I said, like, whatever faith is, whatever can make me happy, I know that this is where I can find it because I haven't found it anywhere else. And I know that this is true because I want it so bad. So I know that I can have it. So I said, Lord, whoever you are, I just left it open. I said, with an open mind and an open heart. And I was allowing anything to come to me. And what I got was a beautiful amount of, like, healing and support. I started finding support in myself. I noticed I started to something was given to me where I was just able to handle life a lot better. Um, but I thought I had it all figured out and got what I needed, but definitely didn't. And it was about to prepare me for an immense amount of pain and things that I was about to go through. So after I had had confided in faith, in spirituality, I started on my spiritual journey. My spiritual journey has begun at this point. So now, my mom passed away, and I had also placed up. Justin had passed away, and then about 6 months later after that, I got pregnant with my baby boy Edmund, and when I got pregnant with him is when I really started realizing that I didn't find the support that I needed. Because although I found all this in faith, I still was back to this place of, because I didn't realize this then, but I realize this now that I'm sorry, I didn't have that support and security in myself, and I was trying to create that support and security so much for myself in my life because I wanted it so much that I would do anything for that because I didn't find it yet, and I didn't heal from it yet. Me not healing from that, I didn't want the same thing for my kid. I was having that same sort of protection and defense, I would say, like you say, like survival mode. I went into of just trying to find that security that I can only really find within myself, and that's basically when, after I placed him for adoption, I just went through another low place in my life where it was better. Like, I wasn't like really low, but it was just, I just noticed certain things kept coming up, and I noticed that I wasn't able to get rid of my anxiety in certain things and how I was feeling around certain people. It was just a lot of things where I just wanted relief. It was just a sense of not feeling like you can have relief for something that you know that it's your right to have. Because I knew that it was my right. to have this relief and that I could have it. That's why I wanted it so bad. And I was just like doing the best that I could with what I have, but I wasn't. Because if I was using the best with what I had, then I would use all that I could, and that's within myself. Because if you throw that away, you can throw that away unknowingly. And I think that's like one of the biggest things about this is I unknowingly didn't even, I had no clue. I thought I had it all figured out. Honestly, like my ego was still kind of there when I went into this thing. Like I was like, oh, whatever. I have some money. I just like, I've always wanted to learn, and I knew I was spiritual, and I thought like, I just wanted help. I like just wanted help to start my business. Like I didn't realize that I was about to like, I was on this track where I started growing a lot spiritually, and I wanted to share this message with people of hope that I found. And I just didn't know that I hadn't even really found that hope in myself, because I haven't found that true meaning in myself that everybody wants, but like you have to come to full understanding with within yourself.
Right. And that's the journey.
I feel like that's through that connection. It's literally just this one. It's through that connection of being connected to source and being connected to all. Just not. I think that was really a big thing with me, was being conditioned by the ways of the world and everything to really just think differently, and to never like go into myself for that, or to like not allow myself to be separate from that. I think that was a big thing for me.
And how did you do that?
Like separating myself from divinity, like, is pretty much the creativity problem that I had, because I can't create
Yeah.
what I have if I already have it, and I'm fighting it, because I'm fighting it by trying to make it work. But really, I don't have to make anything work, because I already am. So that's really where like the art of being really comes in, because you just already are. It's so effortless. You just have to tap into that feeling, that love. And like this goes for everything. This, when you find this, like it goes for your connection to divinity, it goes for your perception, it goes for your healing and how you react to pain and things in your life. It just like, you never really know until you find out, like, until you really just want to take a trip inside of yourself to figure that out and take everything else that comes with it.
And that takes a significant amount of courage to be able to look within.
Because when you do that, you allow so much more, because you're not seeing through your feelings anymore, through your mind. Because if you were really feeling through your feelings, it would be through your heart. Or alignment, because not even separating anything. And that's always been my problem, is I'm trying to figure things out and I'm trying to separate, when like everything, like this love that you feel, that feeling, that connection, that's inside of you, that can't be defined or figured out, and that is you experiencing it. So you feel it already, so you don't have to create that. You don't have to try so hard to express that, and to even think about things that way, openness that way, like to express yourself, like thinking of that more softly and openly. Like, I don't have to try to make a point. And to tap into yourself, why do I want to just make this point? It's because I don't want to make a point, and I don't want them to think I'm making a point. It's because when I tap into myself and I say, why am I feeling this? It's because I want to be seen. And to feel that in more of that authentic way in yourself. Because if you really go into yourself, you realize that that's a completely different way of seeing than what you thought it was. Because you do have to analyze yourself too. You have not analyze yourself, because that's trying to figure it out again. You just have to like feel yourself. That's why Vanessa's always like, how do I feel about that? You have to like really see how you feel about that, because you have to figure out yourself first. And I didn't even realize that first, about myself, that like that's how it goes, that's how it is. It's you first, and then that opens yourself up to so much more. And you don't even have to separate that. It doesn't have to be you first, because you are connected to everything else, connected to other people, connected to source. This energy is connected to also people see all, even if you don't even see it, say it. You know how like there's like that one asshole that everyone feels something, but no one wants to say it, and that one asshole is like, oh, I'll say it, and you're like, oh, why did they say that? But it's really like, I admire that, because that's authenticity of being able to really express what's within you, your true intentions. And when you think about what their true intentions are, they just want to be seen and heard. They're not trying to make their point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really it just goes for everything. And this love is just like immense and open and
beautiful.
no separate and no resistance. Because that's really what it is. And I just want to share something like beautiful with you guys, like that I was just actually guided to say. So it was that day of the meditation, of the global meditation. I know how you said things were really sticky. Yes, indeed, they were very sticky that day. But for a beautiful cause, let everything flow. But it was very sticky first. So there was just a lot of energy that day of things coming up, like from my past, but like being able to see them like in a new light. So my dad, we are reconnecting again, and just to see everything the way that I do now. And I was hurting before and like distancing myself from my dad. So I just like, he's at this point in his life where I feel like he wants to be more open now, and he wants that support. I'm looking at him right now, and it's just beautiful. I feel like he's at the same exact point that I was at, and he's looking for that support. And I'm trying, so I don't want to go back into that thing to try so hard to give it to him. And I just realized that's what was happening. I started to try to explain to him when he came over all these things, and every time I tried to say it, he would just push it away and resist it, just like he's always done his whole life. And he would just start talking about the virus, and he wouldn't even come 6 feet near me, and he just start talking about the virus and this and that and all this like life stuff, things that don't really matter. Like, so anytime I said anything like meaningful or from the heart to get you to like feel connection, he would push it away or like not look at me in the eyes. And so there's like this point, and he's like really older, and he knows he's getting older, and I was feeling all this off of him, that he wanted to like see me because he knew that he's like getting older. And like I was feeling all this off of him, and feeling everything from my past of how he was treating me, trying to get me to feel things, because that's always how it was for me. And like it was just a whole shit ton at one time flying in my face, and like what am I gonna do with this? What am I gonna do with this? So what happened is my dad, I looked at it and I just was like, wow, I just want to make the best decision in this moment. I want to make the best possible decision that I can make, because I don't want to make the same mistake before. I want to live now, and I want to feel a connection with him. So what can I do? If there's anything that I can do without trying to control anything, without trying to get him to know what it is, what can I do? So I just like sent light and love to him, and like released it from myself. And like when I released it, I looked at him and something clicked. It was crazy. Like I pictured this light going in him, and it was like something clicked, and like it was just crazy. I don't know, I just feel like something happened. And there was this point where he put Germex on his hand, and he was going to pass me the Germex, and he gave me the Germex, and I squirted some in my hand. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, all right, we can touch hands now. This is amazing. We can touch hands. And he ignored it. I know he heard me, but then he started talking about something else. Again, he did that thing. And all that I wanted to do was touch my fucking father's hand. And all that he wanted to do was come there and express the support. And you know what he did? He gave me money. He gave me fucking money to express his support. This is it, you guys. This is why it's so important. So I said at that moment, I almost let my ego get in the way. Vanessa, I almost said, I'm not going to say it again because he doesn't want it. But then I thought about what he really wants. And then I thought about what I really want. And then I slapped his hand. I said, get over here. And I grabbed his hand. And in that moment where I looked at him in the eyes and he laughed, he said, you're a trip. And I laughed. I said, no, I'm a whole vacation. And my mom used to say that. And like, it was just a really beautiful moment, like to have that connection. And if that was the best part of the whole experience. And if I wouldn't have been able to just move past, if I wouldn't have just been able to move past that, this is the love that I'm speaking of, guys, to go deeper into yourself, because the way that we're acting is our mind, not our hearts. The way that it's so important to feel this love and to be a part of it with every fucking moment, every breath that you take, to remember that this feeling is there. And I still do it. Even before I got on here, I started to try to create again. Try to create what's already there. I tried to come on. Before I came on here, I started trying to think of what I'm going to say. Making it about me again. When it's about the highest collective. It's about this love. It's about sharing this message and you taking what you need from it. It's not about me. So like to realize all these things and to put that into action, that's creating. To let go and to accept all that is and to create with that, that's creating. That's beautiful. That's living. And it's just so important, and that's why I just want to share.
Wow, thank you.
Share that. That's why I want to share that with people.
Thank you for that. I feel like we need to take a moment to just allow that to simmer in. If we and our viewers, our listeners can just take a moment to just take a deep breath. That was so beautiful, Nikkiy. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And something that came to me on my birthday, actually on Monday, is that the only thing standing between us and what we want is our judgment. And I feel like that goes right in alignment, because where does judgment come from? It's a mind created
you can't. We all create our own. Like and the only way to create something open is to feel it inside yourself first and then look out. Or like even when you look inside of yourself, that opens up to all, because you're connected to all. That opens up to a deeper understanding of everything. And this goes for everything, like in moments with people, your connection to divine, you name it. Like it's this beautiful balance that goes for everything. And like I said, it can't be defined or explained, and that's why you see people like me and Vanessa trying to explain it and trying to get you guys to come and experience it, because we all need it. Like I'm still working on it myself, but it's just beautiful just to be able to fall into it. When you fall into that with no resistance and flow, that's really integration. That's where you reach that point. And I feel like I've reached that point where now I'm like, there's absolutely no resistance there at all. I'm just allowing myself to be.
And that, I feel like right there, that's a huge point, is giving yourself permission to just be. And that means in whatever way, shape, and form that shows up in, even if it's uncomfortable.
It's unconditional. So at that point, when it's unconditional, it's when you're falling into it. But you always have what you need. And that's beautiful, because there's no more fighting.
That's so beautiful. I love that. And I remember I was watching one of my dear friends, amazing medicine woman, Crystal. She said something that just stuck with me. And it was, if you're experiencing resistance, stop pushing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And even you can even try to create from light, because like me, even like before this, I'm like trying to create, like I'm like, how can I make them know everything that I want to share? How can I share everything I want to share? And you can't even do that, because like that's like not allowing them to have their own perception of it too.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's not allowing more space and more information. So that's just not the way to go about it at all. So when you let go, it allows more support. So the more that you let go, the more you receive.
Mm. Ooh, and I've seen that just firsthand with whatever it is, whether it's a belief system, an identity, or a person, a relationship, where it's like, I just love this person so much, and then you let go, and then it's like
And
it's
then you see it
so,
getting taken care of. Something like that happened today, where I forget what it was, but basically I just let it go, and I understood their part, understood my part, whatever, understood the openness, and then I let it go, and then I realized later that divinity took care of it for me, and I was like, well, see, look, the truth always comes out. See, look how supported and taken care of we are as long as we take care of ourselves.
mm-hmm.
So then when you add resistance in there, there will be consequences for that. Like the universe will not let it happen, or will, like, you'll start getting frustrated or something, or more, because there's more resistance there. And it's like, if you just let it go. And I know it's easier said than done, guys. I know it is easier said than done, but just allowing it to be.
What would you say to someone that right now with the coronavirus and everything that's going on? What would you say to someone, perhaps they're watching, if they're feeling fear around their support and sense of security? What would you say to them?
If they're having fear around their security, well, if they're having fear around the security, I would tell them that I would really recommend that they find out where that fear is really coming from, because like it's going to be within themselves, and it's going to be able to be so fixable, because you're going to have your back completely on it. Because like whenever our fear is coming from is resistance, crazy, and we're all just like, I'll use this example, unemployment. Everyone and their mom is trying to do unemployment right now. Shit's going crazy. Everything is held up. The universe is trying to tell everybody it's held up. And meanwhile, I'm over here trying to relax and be on my highest alignment. And people, certain people, I won't say any names, they're trying to almost trying to bash me for not caring about all the stuff that's going on. When really, it's just that if there's nothing that we can do, the only thing that we can do is ourselves, is going to be in ourselves. And that's the most powerful thing, because with that is everything. So when there's nothing you can do, it's going to be inside yourself. Mm. And like, just trying to do unemployment, and everyone and their mom's going to be doing it. And then as soon as it chills out, everything's going to be fine. And it's just like that goes back to living in the now. Like you didn't do the best that you could in the now. So at that point, it's gone. So that's where like regret comes in, and we feel all these feelings, when that all stems from not being able to be. And like also realizing that it's always going to be hard to be, because we're in physical form. We're in this, we've been conditioned forever too. That's another big thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I went for a walk on my birthday, and it was funny because it was a Monday. I'm like, oh, like I should be working. Like my ego's like, oh, we should be doing something productive or doing something, like, what do you mean we're just going to go for a walk and be in the sun? Like, what? We have to be doing something more than that. And I was just laughing. I felt this, like, I was just witnessing myself. And it's like, no, like, our purpose, what came to me in that moment was our purpose is to experience. That's a huge part of it. Huge part, to experience what it's like to just be without any obligations or responsibility in a moment. I mean, take that with you.
Exactly, and that's the most beautiful thing. To be all right with that.
And that's the ticket right there, is being okay with that. And I know I've had a lot of beautiful souls reach out to me during this time that are going through some adversity within themselves, and just not being okay when they're just they're feeling all their emotions and they don't feel good. So just like wanting to run away from it, like they shouldn't be feeling these negative emotions, but we take both polarities and we can alchemize them and become more powerful.
We can take all because we are all.
Yes, that's beautiful. And to not be separate from all of our feelings, just experiencing.
Got your tapestry. I'm sorry, I had to.
I don't know why it's that tapestry she's really interested in.
Why
like,
not that stuff on the left side? Come on, Kat, give it the program. It's boring over there. Just kidding. She can create with whatever she's got.
So beautiful. So Nikkiy, what you are a soul purpose and life coach. So what is it that you do? Do you help align people with their purpose, help them around their life?
I help people pretty much just all around, like around their purpose in life, just to like be able to experience to the highest possible, the highest you can, highest possible good.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So you have no resistance, and like it's just like really tuning into like each person, and like how I said before, like it's really crazy how I've noticed with people how all of that usually stems from their wants. Like anything that's there, my new outcome is my new thing is, if you want it, you can have it. And I make that happen for anyone. Anything you need, you come to me, and I'll make sure that we can get that settled out the best that we can. Because I would really love to support you while you support you.
That is so beautiful. I'm checking in here. Sorry, go ahead.
And then we can all support each other.
Yes, absolutely. I'm checking in here with our comments, and Christy says, love you both so much. I love you, Christy.
Oh, Christy, you're the best. Really, I miss your smile and your giggles.
She's the best. And
all you gotta do is smile and giggle, and everyone feels her love.
Oh my goodness, I know. She's amazing. Then we have Crystal saying, I had the same issue with my mom this week. Still haven't applied for unemployment for me or her, but she was getting angry like I wasn't trying and I wouldn't help her, but there's nothing I can do about it. Right. Yeah.
And understanding her perspective too is another big thing.
Putting yourself in the other person's shoes.
And understanding why you feel that way about it too. Which she seems like she already has is understanding.
Right. Yes. Oh, it's so perfect.
Well, you can always understand deeper understandings. That's what I've always been that way. It's a beautiful art.
Absolutely. Just going deeper and deeper and deeper. So what would, if one of our listeners or viewers is experiencing anxiety, I know that's just a really big a really big emotion or feeling state recently for people, what would be some advice that you would like to give to them if they're experiencing anxiety just with everything going on?
Anxiety, oh my goodness. Yes, so I definitely had a big problem with anxiety, and that's really trusting yourself and not having any expectations and being able to live in the now and to be comfortable and not judge yourself in this process, because like honestly I feel like a big thing for my anxiety was that I was my own worst enemy for that. And then once when I started trying to be in this art of being is when things really started to change for me with that too, honestly, with the anxiety thing. Was really letting go of trying to predict or control anything. That's another big thing, is I realized that my anxiety came from control.
Huge.
Because if you can't do, here's what I recommend you to ask about that. If there's nothing that I can do, what can I do? If there's nothing that I can do about my anxiety, what can I do? You know what I mean? Like just letting it all soak in, like doing what you can.
Doing the best that you can, or like our good friend
there's a lot of techniques to do for that too.
Would tell us, doing that 1%, just that 1%, even if that's just like some self-care.
Yes. Anytime you notice your anxiety, like ask yourself. Another thing that really helped me with my anxiety was figuring myself out, because like a lot of times where I felt my anxiety is because I didn't really understand where the feeling was coming from. Like I thought that I did, but I didn't. I was having so many feelings, and then once I really figure out where the feeling is coming from, then it starts to simmer down once I understand and like tap out of my head and into my heart. And just letting
tap out, tap in, tap out, tap in. Yes. Oh, I love that so much. So do you have anything else that you would like to add for the people listening or will be listening about the art of being?
I'm sorry, I don't really have much to say about that one, but really just the art of being. Be comfortable in this balance, because this balance will always be there, but you are a balance, and that is just so incredibly beautiful. So yeah, just be able to do the best that you can with what you got, because you can, and just to really be all that support for yourself and security.
Beautiful.
Because there really is nowhere else to go, and you will be led right back to that until there's no more resistance anymore. Until we fully become one with this.
So beautiful, Nikkiy. If any of our listeners want to reach out to you to work with you, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at One Step Away Healing in a Session, and also I can add you to the group One Tribe.
Woo! The One Tribe. I love it so much. Thank you, Nikkiy. Thank you, everyone that took their time to hear Nikkiy's story and all of her golden nuggets.
I really appreciate you having me on here, and if you don't mind, I can also drop my link down there somewhere so they can click on it if they want to.
Yes, please do. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a blessed day being in the art of being, taking these moments to accept all of you and whatever's coming up for you. A big cause to our suffering is wanting to pull ourselves out of our suffering. if we just allow ourselves to feel our, whatever it is, the emotion that's coming up, just allow yourself to feel it. The only way out is in. So allowing yourself to feel it, you will find that you will get out of that state quicker than just putting it under the rug and sweeping it under there and suppressing it with external behaviors, any addictions or just distractions overall. Allowing yourself to just be and accept yourself as you are. Every day is a new day. So thank you, everyone. My name is Vanessa Simpson with Fifth Dimension Therapy, and love you so much.
I love you, Vanessa.
I love you too. Beautiful. Okay. Boop.